Hey, welcome everybody to podcast number 40, presented by Five Pin Universe. I'm your host, Karie Kreutz. We have Adam Weber, both Wisemans, and our special guest this week is Sylvain Bercier from Quebec. Um, he has a mixed gold in the Open, and he has a duckpin title at the Turner Classic down in the States. Pretty cool feat. I think you won 10 grand American down there.
Yeah, 10 grand American worth 13 Canadian. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's huge.
Did a little bit of research today. Decided to look up some duckpin tournaments and seen that you played quite a bit down there a few years back. You played some in the 2019 season as well.
Yeah, did play three stop this year. I wish I would have played more. Just just love it every time. It's a different, kind of game. It's different level of technique and more precision and all that. So
Do you
it's kind of
feel
fun.
do you feel like most five pin players could move to a duck pin tournament and play fairly well, or do you think it's not quite the same? Like there's takes a little bit of change to it.
Well, I to be honest, not to take away anything from the duck pin bowlers. I think five pin bowlers are more accurate than duck pin bowlers. So that's definitely in my opinion a very good advantage. Uh, Although I'm thinking some of the guys, like especially Adam, with the speed of your ball and precision you have, I think you just killed it over there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
How
Uh,
how how big was the learning curve?
well, it's kind of it doesn't take much, but you got to realize at first how to make these pairs. Most of the time, you're gonna like we're gonna we're not gonna use the wall as much as they do in order to get the kickbacks for any spares. So most of the time, we're gonna try to at first we're gonna try to slide the pin on the lanes to get over the other side. But most of the times, I learned these guys are using the wall. Pins are coming back faster from the wall and moving all the way down the other side, and you can actually make 7-10 splits and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was from some of the little bit of video I watched. Say the pincher seemed to bounce around on the deck pretty easily. Do you happen to know what weight the pins are?
I'm not sure about the weight of the pins.
Right.
I know most of the time they grease the deck every time just before we bowl. There's a guy over there just spraying with oil and just greasing the crap out of it. And the other thing though I've learned is they use like some kind of rubber on the walls so they actually make the pins bounce back.
So I did see so you're part of the Duckpin Pro Bowler Circuit, the DPBA I think it's called. I see they increased to 8 stops this year, so they even added a few more tournaments to their tour.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
increase. I think what was it last year? 7 or 6?
I think it was 6. I think they added two more tournament stops.
Which is great. Like
Yeah.
right in the summer, these guys are freaking dedicated. Like for us five pin bowlers, we mostly take the summer off, but these guys are going full right at it.
That's their high season, isn't it? Like the summer is like the most of their tour sort of thing.
Well, I think they have two tours. This is like the bigger money is in the DPBA tour, but also they have the Pop Witten Pro Tour, which goes throughout the season. So from September to even the summer, they still have stocks too. And
Yeah, I seen the DPBA kind of ran from it looked like early April till late October. It looks like.
so at some point, I was just thinking if I was over there, I would like to play all of them. I was probably gonna play every weekends.
Right. It'd be kind of neat.
So much.
It'd be kind of neat to get like almost a small ball tour going, because they obviously have enough players that play out there that are really good at duckpin, and as Walt Brooks has proven, it seems fairly transferable. Walt plays pretty well in Regina and stuff like that, and he won twice this year on the DPBA. If they would come do a circuit out here and we do a circuit out there, you could get a couple hundred players touring, and it's decent prize fund. Like, you could actually make a tour out of that idea. But
So you're thinking of like Western guys going down to the U.S. and actually.
yeah, the only problem is their tournaments are kind of spread out like ours, so travel would be ridiculous. You could probably only make a couple to make it worthwhile, but it'd be neat. It'd be nicer if like theirs were all within 3 or 4 months, and then ours were all within 3 and 4 months, and then you could do a tour idea of it.
Yeah, I like the idea.
Yeah.
Well, I guess for the 5-pin players, you'd almost have to not go national-wise, right? No, almost kind of take on theirs in the summer, and then maybe do like a smaller season or something like that for the league players of the 5-pin.
Yeah, that'd be kind of like the consolation prize. You don't make a nationals, well, you can go down and try your hand at duckpin for a summer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
Well,
Interesting.
I know Sly at a certain meeting we had a couple of times ago. The one time he showed up to a C5 meeting, he brought that up. Right? We had odd number amount of teams. Remember that, Sly? And I think that was a great idea.
Yeah, there was some
American.
interest for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dad.
Well, your bet. Well, it was your idea. I'll let you go ahead with it.
There was definitely interest for that at the time. I had discussion with Walt about it, and they were thinking of being able to put up a team together. But when it times to commit, they at that point they kind of realize, well, we can't actually commit right now for next year without having they didn't get all the firm commitments that they needed at that point. But there's definitely a little bit of interest over there, because every time these guys are coming here, and I had a discussion with Walt at the last club tour, these guys just love their game. It's different for them. It's a different variation, and it changed the little the habit of playing always the same game. Right?
Yeah, it'd be kind of neat to do like a world's 5-pin and a world's duckpin, kind of like they do candlepin. I know it's the same game, but if the 5-pin game and the duckpin game is fairly comparable, because it's the same size equipment, is it not? Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, bowling balls, anyways. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what Sly was talking about is we were talking about new things in one of our meetings for the C5, and he brought up we always had odd number of teams for the most part before Manitoba was back in or was looking to be more prominent. And he brought up, why don't we offer maybe the U.S. to come in for a mixed team, for a men's team and maybe a ladies team, fill up that spot instead of us having a bye. And honestly, it wasn't like it was shot down. It was well received, and then Sly decided not to show up to another meeting again. So, but it definitely piqued everybody's attention in the room. I thought it was a neat idea, out of the box thinking, and something maybe down the road, something we can think about. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea. Never really even thought of it.
Yeah.
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 And I think that's a good way of us getting our game into the States as well. That's a starting point.
Yeah, for sure.
So if anything ever happens, it's all Sly's idea. So
His brainchild.
his brainchild.
You know what though? It would be great to have them. Some people had mentioned they stack up a team, they could crush everyone, and it's true. If they do decide to, if some of the region, let's say Baltimore, decided to actually do an all-star team, they could come over and be pretty stacked for sure.
Right. You don't know
Challenge accepted.
till you try it, right?
Challenge accepted. Let's go.
Did you guys ever heard about they were trying to do a World Cup at some point. Argentina went to the U.S. and so they sent a team over there and they played against the U.S. for a week, and they were trying to put in a team for Canada as well at that time. It was maybe 3-4 years ago, and Canada. Well, the dates were not good for us because it was in between, I believe, just near Masters National. So Argentina finally showed up, and these guys could bowl too. They have great talent over there as well.
I didn't know Argentina had duckpin. Where else in the world does duckpin exist?
Philippines, I believe.
Okay, that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because all the old machines from the U.S., from the bowlings that were closing, most of them went to the Philippines.
Yeah, they had 5-pin at one point too. Maybe we should take up duckpin, guys. I'd like to go to Argentina to go bowling.
Not maybe right at the moment, but they're having some fuel problems down there right now. It might be a little sketchy for us to go down there, but
meh.
Yeah, I think any small ball. Gino used to tell me stories. There used to be small ball championships. I think Jan Anderson actually won it one year.
Yeah.
So it has been a thing in the past.
I feel like that was in the Philippines, wasn't it? From what I remember.
That I couldn't tell you. I don't know that information, but that'd be pretty.
That
cool.
would be one heck of a trip to go there, actually.
Yeah. Well, you never know. We pique enough interest, and with Walt Brooks down in the States, maybe we can get something going. Maybe Sherwood Bowl has to put in some duckpin lanes. Get on it.
Sure. I've been told this week that we need to expand anyway, so why don't we throw in some duckpin lanes while we're at it? In reality,
Candlepin too.
Yeah, why not? From my understanding, there could be some duckpin in Edmonton area right away, anyways. So
there is on the short lanes in the brew house on St. Albert Trail.
A hard belly or a soft belly?
I can tell you, but it's the short lanes. It's the gimmick lanes, right? So
it's the Route 66.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That'll be hard. That'll be hard belly, anyways.
So Sly, have you ever competed in soft belly duckpin? I know that's fairly common in the Quebec area there.
It's a different game. The way we throw, almost got kicked out once and we got belly bowling out because I was throwing too hard.
Oh, really?
We actually did a tournament at Anik Bowling, so it was quite neat. We had the pros from Montreal over, so we had to play 3 game of duck, 3 game of 10 pin, and 3 game of 5 pin. So that was a neat experience.
That's
and
awesome.
The 5 pins guy totally crushed the guys, even at their own.
Yeah, I heard the 10-pin guys were pretty pissed off about it too.
Yeah, it was. Let's say the condition of the lens is not the same way they used to. They were dry as fuck, and they're not used to that. Yeah. You got to be greasy.
Yeah.
Sly, didn't you guys go down to Quebec City and set something up out there once?
Yeah,
there was a lot.
Down at the curling rink in Quebec, and we had pin boys, and it was belly duck pins. Actually, American duck pins that they had pin boys setting it up over there. It was quite neat experience too.
That's super cool.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I just saw things fly everywhere, and people were ducking every time they were throwing the ball.
Is that how they came up with the name?
Is that what?
Is that how they came up with the name, duckpin? Just everyone trying to avoid getting hit in the head?
Wow.
Good dad joke.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, because we had a soft belly center up in Fort McMurray here in Alberta. It's since shut down, but we had a chance to go play there when we had to open up there. It is totally a different game. Stephen Locher, I think, threw a triple, and it was the biggest thing ever. It's like nobody was throwing strikes, and he threw a triple. It was pretty crazy.
Did you guys try to play the different way with the hand over the ball instead of?
I'm pretty sure Lynn Howell and those guys were playing that way. That was my rookie year when we got to play up there, so I didn't know anything about that the Frank Levine style, we call it. So I was just ripping it up the gut and scoring absolutely nothing. So.
But then we played this year at Anique, and that's how we were playing. We were just ripping it up the gut, and it was.
Yeah, just kind of slowing it down just a little bit, though, right?
Yeah, but that was way better than us trying to do the other. That's for sure.
Rubbers were flying off. They wouldn't go put them back on. Yeah, I don't think they were very happy with us either.
That pin was destroyed before we got there.
Probably.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So, Sly, you obviously came out to TPC. Are you coming out to Regina as well?
That's a good question. I wanted to. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, no problem.
There's so much going on during that time. Family vacation, year end of work, and also Timmins and the Open Masters. So I think I got 1 weekend off in about a month and a half.
Yeah.
So my wife's like, okay, you can go, but you have to prioritize. So yeah, but I want to put in my schedule next year what we talked about. We want to do the whole tour. So got to be honest, like I prefer both WCBT. Just the whole event, the amount of game you play in a weekend, the competition. I think it's the ultimate. So I could be slacking off on the other bowling stuff next year in order to go forward.
We're actually seeing quite a bit that happen out this way. Even I know Mitch has been prioritizing as well out in Ontario. I think you're going to start seeing more and more of that. There's just the competition's there all weekend. You don't have to qualify through 3 rounds to make it to play with 4 other people to play at one national event, right? You can go to 4 different ones and play against the best players from Canada, really. Everybody's showing up, like you and Max and Alex, and now we got Mitch and all those guys out there. Jonathan Cowan came out. Like, it's starting to get to be a national event almost every time you show up, which is pretty cool.
And it's a little bit different. We get to sit down and have beers with you guys, which is something that, like that's way harder to do at Open Nationals or Masters Nationals or anything like that. You don't get as much downtime. You can't drink while bowling. You can't just go, hang out with who you want to whenever, because you're in the bowling alley the entire time. That's the nice thing for me for the cash tournaments is, you can have a couple beers and just go find a buddy you haven't seen in 6 months and just sit down and chat. It's just different.
And the beauty of it too, you can actually drink while you bowl. So.
Yeah,
that's the beauty on the proprietor side too.
It doesn't hurt that there's big cash on the line too. So there's lots of side betting going on and people cheering for people that normally they wouldn't be cheering for, and it brings a different aspect to everything too, right?
Why didn't he lose $100? I heard at TPC.
Yeah, thanks, Dex.
Sorry.
I still think it was a good bet at that time.
If it makes you feel better, I lost $1,500 from it. So.
Oh, you're steamrolling everyone.
And then I couldn't do anything. It is what it is. That's bowling.
It was nice this year. It was nice at TPC this year. There was some amazing bowling. Eric had a crazy run at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tracy and a
It
lot
was
of people.
awesome to see Tracy do so well too.
It was great. It was great. Only missing Adam though.
Nobody missed me. Come on.
Yeah. Were we?
Yeah.
The schedule still sucked. It was all over the place. Adam would have helped stabilize that, I think.
What are you talking about? I would have never have left the bowling alley on Friday if Adam was there. It's like, oh, it's now 6:30 in the morning. I'll be back in half an hour.
And you would have made 20% more in beverage sales because people had to stick around for it anyways.
We had people there till 2:33 in the morning anyways, and they were mad that I wasn't serving them liquor. And I'm like, guys, it's illegal. You mean we're cut off? No, you're not cut off. We just can't serve after 2 a.m.
Bring your own.
Yeah.
No.
No. Us on the Five Pin Universe podcast do not condone outside liquor.
Should change the rule for Quebec. 3 a.m. buddy.
Yeah.
But this podcast does condone drinking and driving, I hear.
Right.
Responsible.
Definitely missed seeing you guys at the TPC there, Sly. How many came out from Quebec? You, Max, Alex, anybody else?
That would be the only 3 of us. There's so much guys that have talent over here that
You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
but it's time and money that's actually taking. Some guys want to do it,
Yeah.
but they just can't.
Yeah. Fully understandable.
Hear that, WestJet? Start offering better prices so we can get this thing national.
Yeah, definitely. Eh?
Maybe you could talk to the WCBT board. Make those contacts.
Got to talk to the A5 president, see if we can get into the C5. They have discount rates, I do believe.
I'm pretty sure they just post that code anyway, so just use it.
Yeah, it's only good for like a weekend though.
Yeah.
Certain days.
Yeah, what is it? Something like 10% or something? Is it still that?
Yeah, about that. I think about 10%.
Yeah, it's still not the greatest.
Pays for 2 bags, I guess. I guess that's what it would be.
True enough.
Yeah, speaking of bags, like when you leave, you always got like go to bowling balls.
Yeah. Like, I was gonna ask, how did that happen?
Well, I think I ended up with 5 sets of ball this time. Oh,
Did you take home our house balls or what?
no, I just take them the Quebec balls and sell them in them.
I seen you had posted a few sales on the 5-pin bowlers buy and sell, so getting rid of the extra sets that you took.
No, I kind of have. No, I actually left some in Alberta. But no, I actually had too much at home, so I need to clean up over here. My wife was getting on my nerve.
You only need 1 set of bowling balls.
Oh,
I know,
God.
but different. I love Starlines. I do, but sometimes I depends on my grip that day. I'd rather go with maybe a rubber ball or something a little harder.
You left Scorpions behind, right?
Yeah, those were my dad's.
It had your name on it.
Yeah, definitely. He has the same name as I do.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
So I guess speaking about bowling balls and stuff, that'll just lead me into we asked our special guest a few questions, Slice. So, who was your bowling mentor growing up?
There was a few. He passed away, but Jacques Labrèche was probably the first one in YBC that pushed me to go and do competition, really to work hard. And so he he's probably the guy, and then I think I would say Luke and Bruno had great influence on me. I stopped bowling for 8 years. When I came back, Luke and Bruno were kicking ass over there in Quebec. So I took some advice from these guys, look up to these guys, and they had to share a lot of insight.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome to hear. What at this time is your favorite tournament? And it can be any tournament. It could be a duckpin tournament, Masters, whatever.
Wow, the favorite one, eh?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make fun with that one here. It's gotta be. I would say, not suck up on the board here, but yeah, definitely Edmonton is one of them that I've been going every year, and I've actually done well over there too, and yeah, it's probably the most competitive one with all the entries that are in there. So yeah, but you know, nothing to. We got great tournaments here too, especially what the club tour is doing right now, and what Timmins is doing. Al Pocket and Timmins, Jeff and Glenn and Mitch, what they're doing on Ontario right now in my Tourville. So yeah, but hands down, probably TPC.
Thank you.
Great.
Favorite between the Open or Masters?
I would say the Open, actually. I like the format a little bit better. I like the fact that you could play both. If you're single, you could play teams. So
Yeah.
probably one is right.
That's
Sly, you're going to be alive for a few more minutes now that Natalie found that out. That's good.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Do you have a toughest match or your favorite match that you've ever played in 5-pin bowling?
Toughest match. Well, I think my favorite match was at Bowling Allard 1 year, and that night I shot over $1,000. The other guy shot 980, and I think one game I had like 396, and he had like 392, something like that. It was quite. It was against I don't know, duckpin bowler Daniel Marchand. I don't know if you remember that guy. Back in the day, it was a while ago, but I still remember that match. It was quite neat.
And how old were you when that happened?
I must have been pretty young. It was a while ago, probably 12 years ago. Because the bowling alley's been shut down for at least 7-8 years for sure.
Yeah, they shut down after, was it Open Nationals there that 1 year? Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I think it was the
correct.
Open. It was like that. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's a common theme all across Canada. Bowling alley shutting down. Everybody talks about, remember when we used to play at EBC or something like that, and be like, yeah, that was closed down before my time, but
yeah.
What about you guys right now? Like, do you see like a lot of houses closing down each year, or it's the effect is?
It seemed to slow down the last few years, but like the smaller centers in the small towns are the ones that are suffering right now. It doesn't seem like the big centers are closing down anymore.
I think we had enough centers closed down now that we're not flooded with centers anymore, and I'm sure that's what happened. I mean, there was so many bowlers back in the 80s and the 90s that all these centers opened up, and then all those bowlers disappeared, and then just we were flooded with centers that didn't know how to change business protocols to something newer, and those bowlers go somewhere, but they don't go everywhere. So I think, I mean, when we started bowling, I think we had over 20 bowling alleys in Edmonton, and we're down to like 6. So, but it's been staying at like the 6 number for quite a while. So yeah, I just think that it's just balanced out finally, and the ones that survived are okay.
The last one that closed down the Edmonton area, wasn't it Fraser? Or was it, I guess Leduc was after that, wasn't it?
Fraser, and then actually Collingwood was actually the last one, I think. Collingwood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Collingwood, Fraser closed it around the same time.
Yeah.
That's 8 years ago, 9 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. It's been a while.
So what's in your arsenal, Sly? What bowling shoes, what bowling balls? I know it's a few less right now, but
If I look on the floor here, there's about 20 balls on the side.
what are your favorite ones?
I'm a Starling guy. I'm with Webby on that one.
Attaboy.
That was the ball that was using at Hagerstown back then. Always enjoyed the always thought it'd give me more pin action sometime, getting like crackers instead of pushing down the pin. So I also my next go-to is the soft roll.
Yeah.
Like if I want to add something different, something softer, definitely I got a Starline that is plastic. I believe plastic, and the other one is rubber.
Yeah, both with a fair amount of movement, and one has a plastic coating and one's a solid rubber. Yeah, that's good. For someone who throws as much of a backup as you, that's important.
Yeah, definitely. And I've been trying to cut down a little bit in the last few years, so my ball doesn't move as much. Maybe that's something that had to do by playing at Perry Bowling.
Yeah.
Lens were so dry, I was getting about probably 10 or 12 boards of turn in there.
Yeah.
Throwing it actually pretty fast.
I mean, even in the summer, I remember aiming outside left 3-pin and hoping I was hitting the right side of the head pin. It was just insane. And Adam watched me do it, and there were shots I thought were absolutely fine, and then I ended up missing by 3 inches. I'm like, oh, it just, yeah.
But boy, if you could get it to the side, that place played so big.
Yeah, you could definitely score. Yeah.
Although now I hear they're starting to oil there.
Yeah, that had actually a good impact on the scoring. The first week they actually put oil. We had we played 4 games, so there was 1,200 for the whole year. And the first night they actually oiled it, and they actually greased it up pretty badly. Like I was talking to Stefan there, he didn't know how to do it, so he actually soaked them up in there and just passed them up on the lanes. But man, the scores were so good. There was 4 1,200 that night.
Wow.
For Perry's, you know.
That's awesome. Anyway, you go.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Has it still been high ever since, or did it equalize out?
No, the scores are not that high, but there's way less oil. I think he's spraying now. Okay. He's putting a few sprays and just after that wiping it. Sorry, I don't have the word in English.
No problem.
That's okay.
But yeah, there's barely any anymore. So at least it cuts the movement a lot in the shot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the pinfall went way down as the scores are showing.
Getting a little bit colder out there too.
Yeah, definitely a lot of
don't react quite the same.
Yeah, it's a huge thing for them too. Could get pretty cold at the back over there.
So I guess last question I have for you is, what do you think, either 5-Pin Universe or the WCBT or C5 or anything, what can we do to improve the sport Canada-wide? Like, are we kind of meeting expectations, or is there other stuff that we should be doing? Like, this podcast obviously has been over a year. We've heard across Canada people love it, and we're happy to do it. But is there something else that should be being done, or?
Well, something else. You know what? It's just in my mind. I know these tournaments. I don't know if there's satellites that could be done in province. Like remember the TSN or CBC? Each province could send players, so they do qualifiers and stuff like that. And it's a guy who asked me that the other day. He's like, why they don't do it? Like, and basically you need people all across Canada running those. But yeah, that could be something to look into it.
Yeah, for sure. I know when the World Series of Poker and stuff was going on back here in Alberta, there was quite a few house games, even though they're not legal. But people were doing house games, and if the guy won the tournament, he got a free entry into the World Series of Poker and got a few hotel nights and stuff like that. That's definitely something that centers or even groups of league bowlers, if they want to do something like that, throw $20 in for a couple weeks, and whoever wins the total or whatever gets the entry spot or something like that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think from a TPC standpoint, we'd be more than willing. We'd have to obviously work with the other proprietors if they're willing to do things like that for us, and we want them to make money doing it. Because I mean, ultimately, that's what we all need. But from a TPC standpoint, we'd be more than willing to work with somebody like that. And from a Sherwood Bowl standpoint, I think we'd be more than willing to work for the other tournaments as well. We've talked about that before, running a satellite for Regina, running a satellite for Calgary or Red Deer or something like that. I don't think if we have a free weekend, I don't think we'd have a problem doing it at all. Because Tim and I just come in and we just work it anyways, and we're on salary. It doesn't make any difference. We got to turn the lanes on, right? So I think that's a good idea.
Should we so I send a message to Stefan and see, hey buddy, do you want to run an event in Perry? And
you know what? You could try it, man. I wouldn't be surprised that he would. I wouldn't be surprised if we're paying for games and all that. He's making money at the end of the day. I wouldn't be surprised he would be interested in running that. So
and he has an abundance of energy, and like the guy is just so passionate about the game. So yeah, I love the guy. So yeah, that'd be awesome. We should message him sometime closer to TPC.
I'll see him tomorrow anyway, so I'll slide a word too. Yeah. This guy's been good, man. I gotta say, Stefan, you go there, you feel welcome. You feel like you belong,
Absolutely.
right? And every time you showed up, is going to say hi. And I think you need that from the proprietors and also the managers.
Yeah. You're just not a wallet walking in the door. They actually greet you as a person, stuff like that. Obviously, Sherwood Bowl is a prime example. Is that you always feel welcome walking into there. Heritage Lane's kind of same idea. And I think that's where the proprietors are making the turn. I remember growing up in YBC and walking into a center, and they don't even look at you, don't even acknowledge who you are. They just expect you to pay and play, right?
I don't know. I think I might have had a bit of a different experience even when I was really young. Just my family was involved in bowling quite a bit, so basically, I could walk into pretty much anywhere and not necessarily like bowl or anything like that, but all the proprietors, they'd come over, say hello and stuff like that. I think that's been in our industry for many years. But there's definitely some smaller centers that are just so money focused that you're essentially just a customer. But I think it's more the minority.
Adam, you're a pretty big deal back then too. I mean,
no, not
Hall of Fame member,
geez.
and
man, I walk into Sherwood and I'm kind of asked to leave. So,
but they still know who you are.
yeah, we put your photo up 364 days after you won,
and then put Lonnie's face right over it.
Right over the top. I don't know. I think the good thing is that we have a lot of proprietors who are also, heavily involved in the actual game and not just opening the doors for people. It's a different atmosphere, and at the end of the day, we've all said it. It's more important to be friends with people than it is to be competitive in the game. To me, anyways. So I think it's important that way. Where everybody are friends, we're family. We see each other more often than we see most of our family. So
well, let's be fair. If you acknowledge the people and you're friendly with them, they're gonna come back. If you're not, if you just take their money and go set them up the bowl and then they walk out the door, 9 times out of 10 they'll walk into any other place and do the same thing, right? So if you're friendly to them and you acknowledge them and you help support them, they'll always come back and they'll help you out too. So.
And to be honest, it's probably that direct correlation to why some of those centers close down as well.
For sure.
It's that and the price of real estate.
Yep.
Yeah. Those are the reasons for sure.
What do you mean? A car wash makes better money than a bowling center? That's outrageous that you would even talk like that.
Crazy, eh?
I just I don't know. I think you're right there, Dex. But the other thing too you got to understand is that it goes two different ways. I think a lot of us who worked in a bowling center feel like we're like the bartender at the end of the counter there, and everybody spills their guts out once you get to know you. And I don't care about your divorce. I don't care about your girlfriend problems, right? Right? And then
that's the industry you're involved in, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like you pretended you really care about that, but you really don't. It's like as soon as they turn away, it's like, oh Jesus, go to hell. Like, like it's just awkwardness, right?
Well, once you hit like divorce number 75, hearing about them, it's all the same. You feel bad for them, but like, it is what it is. You move on, right?
Yeah.
Happily serve them a beer.
Yeah.
So, you got any questions for us, Sly? Anything going on that we should know about?
I don't know, guys. I don't know. You put me on the spot right now.
Well, we can move on to a different topic if you want to think about that for a minute or two.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, Adam has a new segment. He introduced this top 5 dealio, so we'll let him spin around. What do you got going on, Adam?
Sure. No, definitely received a lot of feedback on the top 5s. Definitely seems like a lot of people like it. Like the concept. I've got a few submissions of some topics that people would like. I guess the biggest thing is that I want everybody to know that when we're putting this stuff out, it's just all in good-natured fun for the most part.
I take offense to it immediately.
What's that, number 2? What?
Yeah. No, we were number 5.
And honestly, who does throw a sandwich?
No one.
That guy does.
Yeah, not sure what this week's topic is going to be just yet. I've got a couple potentials, but I'll try to get that out probably Friday afternoon.
Perfect. I seen
might be meme pages this week.
I seen Robbie Hendrickson did the hardest throwers on tour. Do you
I think
guys?
you might have missed a few.
Do you guys agree with that list, or who would you substitute for a few of those players?
Well, what did he have for the list? I know he had number 5 as Rich for some reason, but
yeah, he had. So we'll go through it here. So he had number 1 is Derek Orn. Number 2 is Evan Lecoussier. Number 3 is Matt Harms. Number 4 is Brett Mapstone, and number 5 is Rich Weber.
Well, I definitely agree with 1, or not necessarily number 1, but Derek Gordon throws it a ton.
Yeah, he can rev it up pretty high.
I mean, and Evan can, but he doesn't on a consistent
Not
basis.
typically. No,
That-
not unless it's like 6 feet off the ground usually, right?
Yeah, that's an anger shot that he throws every once in a while for sure. Mapstone throws it hard.
Can. I don't know.
He's slowed down.
2 people that come to my mind are probably Karie, right? I think Karie probably throws maybe second or third hardest on tour. Derek Holm.
Yeah, he's
I
quite a bit.
think I'm kind of about the same speed as Derek.
Harms throws.
Harms can, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the hardest chucker that I know, but he doesn't play on tour, is probably Brandon Kosciak, right?
Yeah, he only plays the Open though, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree definitely with Derek Gordon and Evan. Matt Harms, he can throw really hard too, but his normal shot I think is right around where he said 52. Mapstone, is he even in the 50s anymore? I don't even think so.
Yeah, he's probably low, probably 50, 51, something like that.
Yeah. And I have no idea what Rich throws. He only throws at one center, so I never see a clock on him. So.
And it's straight down.
Down.
Shaft the foul line, yeah.
It's probably 70 kilometers an hour into the floor.
Yeah.
No, he used to throw it a lot harder. I probably guess he's probably up in like high 40s, 47, 48, something like that. Usually when I'm playing, I'm about 53, 52, 53. Karie, you're probably about 53.
Yeah, 53, 54. That Jonathan Cowan, though, he throws mid-50s.
Alex over 50. Well,
Yeah.
it was until I told him slow down.
Well, and honestly, when I hear like a hard shot, I don't always classify it as speed, right? Because I want to see what the pins do, what the splash is. Because you know, for myself, I know I don't throw it as hard as anybody, but I know when that ball hits the pins, it hits as hard as anybody.
Yeah, you're an anomaly because you throw it hard and you get pins to duck under, which isn't a common trait for that speed. Truthfully, you see lots of.
Yeah, I think we should test those star lines. Maybe cut them open, see what's inside. Maybe they're illegal.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll glue it back together.
I'll retire the week after.
Yeah. No, I Robbie bringing that up. I think that's pretty cool. People talking.
It was
like
one
that.
of my topics, by the way, which I now can't do.
He snagged it from you.
I'm really bad. I don't keep track of that stuff. I don't know. I watch so many people bowl, but I can't sit there and be like, man, that guy throws it hard. I didn't even realize Derek Gordon threw it that hard, truthfully.
Oh yeah, he was
He's
getting
got
it
the-
over
the-
60.
Crazy. Just
Hey,
a
way up there.
wingspan, eh?
I've seen duckpin bowlers, some guys close to 60, like on every shot.
Jeez.
The way they throw, they start at the back of the lane and they start running and chuck that thing 3/4 all the way down the lane.
Does it work?
Oh yeah, like if pins are flying or coming back there, they don't hit the middle and they even still get straights. It's disgusting.
Hey Tim, what was that gentleman's name from Saskatchewan that we played at the Open? That he ended up actually having to change.
Van Dale.
Dallas Van Dale.
Dallas, yes.
That was
guy.
amazing.
Yeah.
That was truly amazing. So his name is Dallas Van Dale. Really nice guy. We are practicing before the tournament starts at Scottsdale, and he throws a couple balls underneath, and Lenny Ad says, like, watch this guy. Throws a couple balls underneath the shield, and then all of a sudden it's like, phew, like just launched them right over the shield because that's how he bowls in PG. He can't. It just goes, or PA. Sorry, it just flies out there, and he can't control that. So we go to Abbotsford the first day to actually play, and he's just launching them all day long, and it is what it is, right? You could do that, but we also looked at Lenny, and we're like, he's not gonna play it all the last 2 days, which are both at Scottsdale. He's not gonna have any points. So we get there after the third day, and he starts throwing, and he changed from like 4-step to 2 or 1 even. And
I think it was 2.
yeah, and then just boom, like just underneath the shield every time. And I think he may have hit it 1 time. Just changed his complete style. Had never bowled like that before, and was unreal. He played
great.
really well. Yeah, it was super cool to see, but unexpected. But yeah, he's got to be up there for speed too, for sure.
Who else is out there that throws a ton on our tour? It's got to be a few others.
How hard?
Even Loschetter.
Stevens,
He can.
high 40s for sure.
How about our one-legged man, Chafe?
Oh, Shane. He's high 40s, low 50s, but he throws
With a 312
yeah
ball.
the biggest, heaviest ball you can
Yeah.
throw.
Like 51 with a 312 that's insane.
I throw 54 with my 312s.
Yeah,
Really?
but
Yeah.
we won't see Shane until 2023 anyway, so we're not too worried about Shane.
Is that on the
Yeah.
podcast? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when
he's
he's gonna have podcast.
Yeah. Or when he's done his rehab, yeah.
He'll be scheduled 4 more times, but it'll be 2023.
Still waiting to release that hidden episode, right, Karie?
Yeah, it's if somebody knows how to uncorrupt the file that's been deleted for over a year, have at her.
JB, it's got to be JB. If there's a guy, it's JB.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
JB can't figure it out, no one can.
That's right.
Exactly.
Hey, Sly, one item that we usually ask the guests that Karie kind of forgot there was what's left on your bucket list?
Yeah.
Oh man, there's a lot. I don't even have the pedigree of you guys. Double.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm shocked that you have 1 gold.
Yeah, I was blown away when you told me that.
I got a bunch of look at my wall right now. I got a bunch of silver and bronze, but nothing like a gold, right?
To me, yeah, sorry. To me, that's unreal. Every time we make it the Nationals, Quebec's always one of the teams that we know we have to win all our matches against because they're going to be there at the end. And it baffles me because I know we've ran into you guys several times, always have close matches. And I think it's like a 50-50 split. And you guys, and it's crazy that you don't have more golds. That's unreal.
Yeah, that's something. Team gold would be nice, even singles, but definitely WCBT win would be one of the high point for sure. Got close a few times, but ran out of gas or ran into a wall. Like Jordan Schultz this year was just insane.
Yeah.
He gave me 4 frames, and that's about it. After that, he just didn't add any openings.
That's the thing with playing the one-on-one format is if somebody gets into a rhythm, it's just so hard to stop them. It's so easy to just maintain that composure and just that thought process when you're 2 minutes in between balls. It's so different than playing on a 5-player team.
If only Jeff England would move the club tour event so Sly could come out to the Autumn Open and play 15 games against 16 different players.
Yeah, definitely. For that one, I gotta stay within my my close neighborhood here, and it's a 4 or 5 hour drive, but
A little bit cheaper.
Totally makes sense. How many duck pinners come up to the club tours?
I'm not sure about the numbers. I think Mitch posted at some point, but I'm pretty sure it was close to 10.
Well, that's awesome. That's
definitely,
really good.
And it's kind of cheap for these guys too. They could fly like Washington, Buffalo for like $60, and then they rent a van, 4 or 5 guys, drive up to Oshawa.
How How long of a drive is that?
Shouldn't be that much. I don't know. Never done it. Probably max couple hours.
That's awesome. Actually.
That's the aggravating part about Canadian Airlines paying $400 to fly an hour is just absolutely outrageous.
We have our flights booked for Masters Nationals, and it's $950 a person.
To Newfoundland?
Wow.
What is it from BC?
Probably about the same. BC seems to be at the same price. Yeah,
it's a lot.
Yeah, the problem is it'll be like 900 from Toronto.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's so ridiculous to fly within our boundaries.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you can go to the States, drive down to like I don't know, but Billings or whatever, and you can fly to Florida for under $100. Like their air flight system is. You always hear horror stories about like United and stuff like that losing baggage, but when you can fly anywhere for $60 or even $100, you take a carry-on. Don't worry about your baggage.
Yeah,
worth the risk.
Yeah, it's total different landscape for sure. Like for us, we're lucky. Like for the last 4 years for Edmonton, the max we paid was $450.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, we're ranging about $450.
Right. There's
I don't know your costs, so if you want to make some money, you gotta do a little run on Sunday for sure.
Does like Flair or any of those cheaper discount flights, do they fly out of your area at all, Sly? Or
no, not from Ottawa. Unfortunately, they're not there yet. I think Ottawa is a smaller market compared to Hamilton, which has Toronto right beside it. You have the population to support that, but no, we're still WestJet, Air Canada, Porter. Use a few times Porter, to go in the US to play Duckins. It's cheaper to go there than it cost me $300 return flight to go to Washington.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Going to play.
We need to open. Maybe the Edmonton 5-pin will purchase a private plane.
No.
Alberta Masters?
No, they need the money right now. It's an expensive nationals and then we host nationals next year, so it's a tight budget.
Money's being well spent.
Money. Yeah, absolutely.
You guys still got the gaming funds from the province?
Yeah.
Huge, yeah.
Myself, Wade.
Yeah,
significantly.
I got 80,000 plus a year for every 18 months for casino.
Did you say 80,000?
80,000, and that doesn't include my 5,000 I make every bingo I have for the E5, and that's 18 bingos a year.
But it's got to be spent in very dedicated ways, right?
You're right. You can't just willy-nilly spend it or you'll lose it.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience.
If the AGLC is listening to this podcast, Tim didn't just acknowledge that he spent the money improperly.
No,
it's just the proper use of proceeds is changes from person to person that's dealing with stuff, so it's not clear cut, and that's the issue. But yes, to answer your question, Sly, it makes the game so much more accessible out here, and we are very fortunate. In almost all of our organizations, we have some sort of gaming funds that makes the game just that little bit easier to afford. So, yeah.
Which is why they're available.
For the Masters, every tournament, or
Masters has a gaming license too. That they have a casino I believe it's every 18 months too, for Alberta.
Yeah.
I'm sure Calgary's in the same boat. Central has one too, but it's lesser.
Yeah, just because it's out of Red Deer.
Yeah. But,
so we're fortunate for sure.
Very fortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably this is compared for us. Like if the ticket costs $900, whatever we fundraise through a normal golf tournament and Strike 13 fundraisers. Well, some of the guys, like some years we paid $700-800 from our own pocket, just in extra of what we paid the whole year to play.
Yeah,
So
right.
It's making a lot of. It's very expensive, so that's turning away a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. Well, in Alberta, we're so lucky because all the oil workers like to gamble, so AGLC just rolls in the money. But with the oil industry failing, who knows?
Yeah.
You might see us in the same boat pretty soon.
Yeah.
It sounds like the bingos are going well, though, Tim. So it's just all the older people with the money now.
Yeah, the senior citizens.
Hey, time out. I don't know why we're talking about me here. Sly is an accountant for the federal government. He works in Ottawa. Why can't he just swindle something for us?
Well, you won't like me because I work for Environment Canada.
Oh. Well, that's the end of the podcast.
Yeah,
it's been great having you on.
I'm pretty sure my new minister will try to be friends with Alberta for sure.
I don't know.
Gotta keep us bowlers afloat. I'm not worried about the rest.
Carbon tax, yes.
Oh man. Does anybody else have another topic they want to hit on?
Well, I know on Monday we ended up in the Edmonton region. We had the Salute to Excellence, which I know everybody that's down there is extremely excited, extremely fortunate to have that opportunity. One that not many other bowling communities have access to after being in the Calgary region, and I know they kind of complain a little bit that they have to watch us have that opportunity every year. And of course with the C5 Hall of Fame and there's quite a bit of award recognition in our sport these days. Is there any other recognition that might be available to some of these other communities?
So you bring up that topic. When Central won the Alberta Open, then we won Canadian Nationals. Red Deer did that as well. They did a recognition for the Central teams, which is the first time I ever heard of it being done. So I don't know, Sly, does that happen in the Ottawa-Gatineau region? If when you went Open Mixed, did you guys have a recognition night or?
1 year I know they had a recognition for amateur sport in Gatineau, but I don't think it's still running for bowlers right now because there's too many other sports and there's also people going internationally. So like martial arts, stuff like that. So we were never we were never retained as candidates. So after a while, we kind of gave up on that. In Ottawa, I don't know if they still have it. The city of Ottawa, they had a recognition over there. I remember Stéphane Lapense and Al Villeneuve getting recognition on that side. So I'm not sure if it's still running or not, but it's probably I think it was still running 2 years ago.
Right.
So for us in Edmonton, I believe, Tim, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong on this, but I believe if you want to be recognized for it in the Salute of Excellence, you need to win gold medal at a national level. I don't believe they take silver or bronze. It's you have to win gold, or you medal in an international competition.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So that kind of weeds it out a little. I don't know why they wouldn't consider bowling alongside other sports. I realize it's not as physical as things like martial arts and stuff, but I think it's equally a sport. But those are the guidelines here, anyways.
Well, bowling could be quite the sport. You could break a toe pretty easily.
I've seen a guy I've seen hands. I've seen ankles. I've seen wrists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even in the Edmonton region.
Hell, I've seen hips. I've seen hips and backs just out of Karie. Yeah. So things happen.
And one thing with the ceremony that they have here in Edmonton, I'm always kind of shocked at just how few different sports organizations that are a part of it. Typically we've got a fairly large 5-pin bowling community as part of it. There's usually a badminton community. Swimming, and they had cheer this year, which was kind of cool. And and I do believe they are changing the format for 2020 according to their website. So I don't know if that's gonna necessarily change our potential to have it there, but definitely very appreciative of the Edmonton 5-pin for putting it forward and following that movement for the bowlers of the Edmonton region.
It kind of sucks hearing that other major centers don't have the same process. I know this isn't quite along the same line, but I know Gino was inducted into the Wetaskiwin Hall of Fame. It's a smaller community, probably a little bit easier to get in, but it's nice to see that the sport of 5-pin bowling was still recognized by a Hall of Fame or a Sports Hall of Fame induction. And I don't know, but I heard rumors that the Alberta Sports Hall of Fame was looking into stuff like that too. So
I believe Diane Violini has her shoes in the Alberta Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I thought we have bowlers in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason I was thinking Bruce might be in there.
Yeah, I don't have the official notice on that, but I know it's been talked about, and I've heard rumblings about it. I know a few golfers in it, and they've mentioned that there was some bowling talk, so that'd be kind of neat.
We should swing by there one day on the way after Masters or something.
It's literally right on the highway.
That's what I mean. Yeah. We should actually just do that one day.
My last A5 meeting was in there upstairs. I should have went and take a look.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
You didn't? You were in there and you didn't look?
What? Why? I mean, I don't know. I just wanted to get out of there.
Yeah.
It was a stressful meeting. Yeah, stressful meeting. I had to chair it for the first time. I was, just not in the right frame of mind to go see the Hall of Fame.
Maybe it would have motivated you to do better at TPC.
No.
No, he's going to get into the Hall of Fame on all his silvers at Masters.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh.
Or open.
Wow.
Or open.
Oh, provincials, yeah.
Yeah, shots fired.
Just 4 single silvers. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks.
No problem, Tim.
Only 4?
Yeah.
Well,
he's like more.
He's working
the way
on
you
5.
pout about it.
Sorry?
He's working
the way
on
you
5.
pout about it.
Well, at least I have 3 golds.
Well, on that note, Sly, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast. It was awesome having you on. Anytime you want to join us again, just let us know.
Thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate that. I always love to talk about bowling and chat with you guys.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Always good seeing you, man.
Hopefully we can get a small ball bowling tour going on.
Yeah.
We'll join you out on the duck pin circuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How cool would that be?
Yeah.
That would be great. Can't wait to see you guys up there. Maybe next year. We'll try to arrange something.
Awesome.
Perfect. Sounds good to me, man.
Have a good one.
Good.
Thanks, Sly.